What is going on, guys? Well, the 2019 NFL offseason sure was crazy. Plenty of Pro Bowl talents were traded or signed with new teams in free agency. Most of us had to tear up our mock drafts in total shame early in the first round. We were way off. No way we could have projected so much craziness. The bulk of the blockbuster signings and trades have already happened. The draft is over. We now know where all 32 teams stand heading into 2019. So now it's the fun part. Which teams improved their overall rosters, and which clubs got significantly worse after bad drafts and free agency moves. I'm Jason Biondo, and today we present 5 NFL teams that got better in the offseason and 5 that got worse. And don't forget to leave your video ideas down below. We'll be looking, and if we pick your idea, we will give you a shout out in the video. So you get to be famous. Who wouldn't want that? Don't forget to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos every single day. Every day's a new video. So subscribe. Number 5, got better. Tennessee Titans. The Titans picked up their 3rd straight 9-win season in 2018, but they just narrowly missed out on a 2nd consecutive playoff berth. That made GM John Robinson an unhappy man, and he wasted no time trying to add to an ultra-talented young core. The Titans signed reliable guard Roger Saffold, who really held down the fort for the Los Angeles Rams in the postseason. They also added slick slot receiver Adam Humphries, giving Marcus Mariota a much-needed security blanket and playmaker to complement Corey Davis. And finally, the Titans added stud veteran pass rusher Cameron Wake, who should produce nicely under head coach Mike Vrabel. Tennessee followed it up with an incredible draft. They added Mississippi State defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons in round 1, further bolstering a stacked front 7. In round 2, the Titans added athletic Ole Miss wideout A.J. Brown. They found a hidden gem in Iowa State Amari Hooker in round 4 as well. And so this stacked Tennessee defense only got better in the offseason. And by the way, these are Mariota's weapons now. Corey Davis, Delaney Walker, Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Adam Humphries. Good luck stopping that, NFL. Number 5, got worse. Kansas City Chiefs. This isn't to say that the Chiefs won't be a prime Super Bowl contender in 2019, but they are going to have to work a lot harder to win their first Lombardi trophy in a half century. The Chiefs defense was very hard to watch in 2018, and it managed to get significantly worse on paper. The team cut ties with Pro Bowl safety Eric Berry and elite pass rusher Justin Houston. Dee Ford was traded to the San Francisco 49ers. So much for redeeming himself after that costly offside penalty in the AFC title game. The Chiefs then gave up 3 early round picks to get the troubled but talented defensive end Frank Clark from the Seattle Seahawks, who's coming off a breakout year in the Pacific Northwest. But the way we see it, Clark merely cancels out the departure of Ford. And though we like the addition of Tyrann Mathieu, he alone won't fix this awful secondary unit. The Chiefs didn't do that well in the draft either. Mecole Hardman at number 56 wasn't a horrible add, but they should have addressed the secondary with that pick. Patrick Mahomes can light up these scoreboards all he wants, but the Chiefs defense has to do something as well. And somehow, someway, the unit looks quite worse than the 2018 version. That's not an encouraging sign at all. Number 4, got better. San Francisco 49ers. If Jimmy Garoppolo's season didn't end in week 3, the 49ers could have very well been a playoff team in 2018. Anyway, John Lynch went all in once again this offseason and stockpiled on talent to address his leaky defense. It started with the addition of standout pass rusher Dee Ford, whom the 49ers acquired in a trade with Kansas City, as we just said, although it was quite an overpay. The pickup of linebacker Quan Alexander should do wonders as well, provided he stays healthy. We also love the pickup of flashy do-it-all running back Tevin Coleman, who reunites with Kyle Shanahan. The 49ers also took a low-risk gamble on cornerback Jason Verrett, who has been injured for most of the last 3 years. But if he's healthy, he should upgrade their weak secondary. I know, the 49ers drafted pass rushing stud Nick Bosa with the 2nd overall pick. Can you say best defensive line in the NFL? The 49ers also addressed the wideout position by adding Deebo Samuel and Jalen Hurd in the 2nd and 3rd rounds respectively. This team is locked and loaded to contend for Super Bowls. Now they just have to go out there and show it. The sky is the limit for this ultra-talented team. Number 4, got worse. New England Patriots. We say it almost every year, but this time we do feel a little more confident. Alright, we say that almost every year too. But anyway, there is simply no replacing Rob Gronkowski, who retired after a 9-year Hall of Fame career. The Patriots didn't find any quality tight ends in this offseason. No Gronk simply makes life a lot harder for Tom Brady. Losing the reliable Chris Hogan wasn't good either. Top pass rusher Trey Flowers left for the Detroit Lions in free agency. Can veteran Michael Bennett replace his production? Probably, but easier said than done. Flowers was an absolute force in Foxborough. New England also lost powerful offensive lineman Trent Brown to the Oakland Raiders in free agency. And defensive play caller Brian Flores is gone as well. His replacement, Greg Schiano, resigned only weeks after being hired. And Tom Brady's 42. Julian Edelman is 33. Devin McCourty, 32. Yeah, the Patriots might struggle to extend the dynasty for another year, so we'll have to see. Then again, it's the Patriots. Number 3 got better, New York Jets. With bundles of cap space, it didn't take a genius to figure out that the New York Jets would spend like crazy in free agency. And spend crazy in free agency they did. The Jets landed Pittsburgh Steelers Pro Bowl running back Le'Veon Bell, by far the best free agent on the market. Bell landed a 4-year contract and should be a wonderful weapon for young quarterback Sam Darnold. The Jets also landed Baltimore Ravens Pro Bowl linebacker C.J. Mosley, who joins a promising defense led by elite safety Jamal Adams and pass rushing stud Leonard Williams. On top of that, the Jets signed crafty and speedy wide receiver Jamison Crowder, giving Darnold another big-time playmaker on offense. And with that, Darnold is primed for a big sophomore year. Did we mention we love the hiring of offensive guru Adam Gase as the new head coach, even though he's got weird eyes. The Jets topped off their strong offense by adding Alabama defensive end Quinnen Williams with the number 3 selection in the draft. New York might not topple the New England Patriots in the AFC East, but they could very well compete for a wild card spot. Darnold has 2 dynamic offensive playmakers, and this up-and-coming defense added 2 game changers in Mosley and Williams. Yep, the Jets are on the verge of turning a corner. Tell your friends, because we're coming. Number 3 got worse, Houston Texans. The Texans didn't really lose too much talent in free agency, but they also didn't add much. They had perhaps the worst draft of all 32 teams. Houston lost top cornerback Kareem Jackson to the Denver Broncos in free agency. Pro Bowl safety Tyrann Mathieu signed with Kansas City, and Houston failed to find a suitable replacement in a stacked safety market. The Texans also failed to find a suitable running back that could replace the disappointing Lamar Miller, but things only got worse at draft weekend in Nashville. Houston took Alabama State offensive tackle Titus Howard with their first-round pick. Even though better prospects like Cody Ford and Jawan Taylor were there for the taking, they should have traded up for a top corner like Greedy Williams. But Houston settled on Lonnie Johnson Jr. in round 2. We aren't fond of the Texans draft picks here. They could have easily added reinforcements on the O-line and secondary in free agency. They stood pat while the other 3 AFC South teams got significantly better. Right now, the Texans look poised to finish 4th in a stacked AFC South. Number 2 got better, Cleveland Browns. The Browns didn't make as many big moves as the Titans, Jets, and 49ers, but the moves John Dorsey made promised to be more than impactful. That's why the Browns are number 2 on our list here. All Dorsey did was trade for New York Giants star wideout Odell Beckham Jr., whom we view as the 3rd best wide receiver in the NFL. Now Baker Mayfield gets to work with OBJ and Jarvis Landry, 2 of the NFL's elite wideouts. Yeah, this could totally be the NFL's best offense in 2019. Looking to bolster a D-line led by Myles Garrett, Dorsey also acquired pass rushing standout Olivier Vernon from the Giants via trade. Oh, and he added Pro Bowl defensive tackle and run-stopping sensation Sheldon Richardson. The Browns also drafted LSU corner Greedy Williams with the number 46 selection, and he was supposed to be a first-round pick. He and Denzel Ward patrolling a secondary, while Garrett, Vernon, and Richardson go after the quarterback. The Browns are good again. Actually, let me correct that. The Browns are finally good. This is hard to believe. It happened so quickly, but it's their time. Here we go. Good for you guys. Number 2 got worse, Pittsburgh Steelers. Like the Patriots, many tend to write off the Steelers once they lose premium veteran talent. GM Kevin Colbert has always found ways to replace his stars, but we're not sure he can manage this time around. After an embarrassing and drama-filled 2018 season, he was forced to deal away Antonio Brown, the game's best wide receiver, to the Oakland Raiders. He received nothing more than 3rd and 5th round picks. Losing Pro Bowl running back Le'Veon Bell isn't fun either, although we do expect big things for James Conner once again. Trading offensive tackle Marcus Gilbert to the Arizona Cardinals was also an interesting decision. The Steelers didn't add any top-tier talent in free agency. We do like the selection of linebacker Devin Bush in round 1, but that's about it. The Steelers took 2 steps backwards, while their AFC North rivals Baltimore and Cleveland took great leaps forward. This feels like the start of an inevitable unraveling in the Steel City. With 2/3 of the Killer Bees triplets gone, and without big-time additions, the Steelers are bound to disappoint in 2019. Number 1 got better, Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars went from 2017 AFC runner-ups to the AFC South basement in 2018. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. But Tom Coughlin refused to sit back and try to win with the same roster. He signed stud quarterback and Super Bowl 52 MVP Nick Foles to a 4-year deal worth $88 million. There is your much-needed Blake Bortles upgrade. But getting Foles was only the beginning of a wonderful offseason in Jacksonville. The Jaguars also had perhaps the best draft of 2019. They landed stud defensive end Josh Allen with the number 7 pick, then upgraded their O-line by getting a steal in Jawan Taylor with the 35th selection. In the 3rd round, the Jaguars found another weapon in San Jose State tight end Josh Oliver, who should be a big-time playmaker for Foles. And finally, Jacksonville topped it off by adding hidden gem linebacker Quincy Williams in the 3rd round. So the Jaguars got themselves a true starting quarterback. They added some weapons around him. The Jaguars also upgraded a championship caliber defense. Yeah, this team totally got better, and they're bound to contend for a Super Bowl again. Number 1 got worse. New York Giants. Hard to envision how a 5-win team could possibly get worse. Ladies and gentlemen, we present you the New York Giants. GM Dave Gettleman made perhaps the worst move in franchise history by trading away Pro Bowl wideout Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns. The Giants also let young Pro Bowl safety Landon Collins depart for the Washington Redskins in free agency. His replacement? Jabril Peppers, whom the Giants acquired in the OBJ trade. And finally, the Giants botched their draft, taking Duke QB Daniel Jones at number 6 overall. And scouts and team executives said nobody was going to take him so early. Why wouldn't Gettleman trade down to get him later? We aren't big on taking Clemson defensive end Dexter Lawrence at number 17 either. There were better guys on the board. We do like the DeAndre Baker pick at number 30, but he's not going to fix this awful team on his own. And so the 5-win Giants enter 2019 without their best player, their best pass rusher, and their Pro Bowl safety, with a bunch of rookies as replacements. Yeah, they got Saquon, but he can't hold the team up himself. Rookies who could very well end up being busts. At least Eli Manning won this franchise 2 Super Bowls against the New England Patriots. That's good. Which other teams got better and which got worse in the offseason? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every single week, and they're really good. So if you want more of me, subscribe. Subscribe to TPS because we post videos every single day. Every day's a new video. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes 1 click right down there. Smash that like button. I know you want to. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo, and I'll see you next time.
My knee.